name is Jen. I am the Unorthodox Healer. This is a tarot card reading and it is for any of you Aries out there. This is for if you have Aries as your sun, moon or rising sign. And this is to celebrate the spring equinox, and with the spring equinox comes the start of the astrological new year. So the idea is that we will shuffle these cards and we will get 12 cards picked randomly by spirit, and we will lay those cards down for every month of the next 12 months, and we will see as to what guidance we get. So these are very well shuffled cards now, so we will see as to what jumps out. I only take cards that jump out at me. I do not read reversals, and you are very welcome here. I think that that is quite a chunk of cards, so we will stop there. I shall pop those there. I shall give these remaining cards a quick shuffle, and we will start with April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, and I would take that top card to make it up to 12 cards for March. So let's see what we have. So for April, and that's obviously next month, April 24, we have the 8 of Discs, and that's the 8 of Pentacles. And that's about feeling as though you can make your own wealth. You can see here that she's actually creating her own pentacles, and the pentacles are typically money. It can also be emotional wealth, and she is very content. The tree is blossoming and she is hanging her pentacles that she's creating up on the tree. And so in April, you are going to feel very rich and abundant. Again, this doesn't have to be that you end up having, winning the lottery or anything, but it does show that you are feeling very wealthy. I think this is perhaps more an emotional wealth, that things are going well for you, rather than it being a material wealth. In May, we have the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is about feeling as though you are perhaps trapped in your own thoughts. Swords are about emotions, and the energy there, the lady is being pulled up. She's being rescued by these birds that are taking her away from these swords which she's sort of been trapped behind, and taking her off to a happier place. She has got clouds still around the back of her, but she is freed from the emotions that she has had, and she's being allowed to do that by something or someone else. These birds are the ones that are taking her away from this situation. So I feel in May that you perhaps are feeling quite sort of worn down with your with some emotional issues, and the guidance is to kind of look up, either for sort of to trust your intuition, or to look up to see that there are people around you who can help you deal with the emotions that you're experiencing. In June, we have the Princess of Swords. So many other zodiac signs have had the Princess of Swords. It's really interesting. This is typically in standard decks the Page of Swords, and that is about it's you can see that she's got her sword down and down to one side. That's the sign that she's still being slightly bothered. She's still a little bit guarded by with her feelings from things that have happened to her in the past. Typically, if you're looking left, that is going back to the past. In her other hand, she has a scroll which is hovering above her hand, as though it's a magic message which is coming to her. But if it's the promise of it being there. She actually hasn't got it in her hand. She's kind of too busy being preoccupied with the journey that she's been on, rather than being able to see the opportunity that's there for her. And this is saying in June that you need to step away from the past. Again, it's perhaps a continuation of the previous month, and start looking forwards, because there is a really exciting opportunity on the horizon. For July, you have the Judgment card, and this is perhaps a continuation of the months previously. Judgment is all about starting afresh. It's about realising that you perhaps haven't made the best choices, or that you are not perhaps proud of the life that you've led. Doesn't mean that you've done anything dreadful, but how many of us can look back at our lives and say, "Oh yes, I've been amazing and I've done everything right"? I certainly can't. So Judgment is about truth and forgiveness, not only of yourself, of other people, but also yourself. And it's literally giving you that sort of rebirth, that you perhaps need to do a little bit of shadow work, looking at the past and what you've learned, and realise that every day is a fresh start, and you make it what you make it what you make it. That's a dreadful sentence, isn't it? But it's true. Every morning is a new opportunity to be the person that we want to be. And in July, that's a reminder that that's what you should be doing. In August, we have the Prince of Wands. Again, lots of people have been having this card. And that is about, it's typically the Knight of Wands. And this is about some really fiery idea that you're really fired up by this this thing that you've got going on in your head, this idea. He's riding either a phoenix or a griffin or something, and he's really going for it. So whatever is kind of getting you fired up and riled up in August, it's going to be quite an exciting month by the looks of things. In September, you have the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is about, it's about dilemmas. You've got these serpents which are on the top of your head, and they're kind of giving you a bit of trouble. I think they're causing you some issues. The Five of Wands typically shows some young men fighting, just play fighting, but it's a bit of sort of rough and tumble. just trying other people out for size and to sort of see how you measure up to them. And I think that in September you're kind of being challenged with the ideas that you've got. Perhaps it might be that this idea that you've been sort of so excited about, perhaps the more that you work on it, the more that you're coming up against people who are saying, not actually sure that will work. And the guidance is that you just have to sort of listen to other people's ideas and opinions and just take them in, but sort of let them wash over you. There is a teamwork element here, and you will come out the other side of it. But I think you just have to respect other people's opinions, and if there are disagreements, then just be the big person and say, thank you, I appreciate your opinion or your concern, and keep your mind clear, keep an open mind, rather than let these serpents sort of start to intertwine. Perhaps there are doubts that are setting in, which you shouldn't have. In October, you have the Ace of Pentacles, and aces are all about potential. And this is the potential for abundance or security, or just, it could be a new job offer. You might have been saving hard. Perhaps the idea back here was about getting a new house or moving, and it's just showing that whatever you set your mind to, that good things should come from it. In November, we have the Eight of Wands, and this is typically quite a fast moving card. This is perhaps goes back to the Five of Wands, that you now are in a situation where you've maybe got too many things that you're thinking about, too many ideas as to what to do and where to be and what you want to do with the future. There's all these rays that are coming out of this mind of this person, and these are all ideas. So there's a lot going on in your head in November, and you're firing, your brain's working overtime with it. All of these stars are all going nuts. So it's just saying, throttle back a bit, just take it steady and try and see things objectively, rather than get yourself stuck in this, oh, I've got so many ideas, I don't know what to do and where to start. In December, you have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is typically about love and emotions and happiness. And this lady is in a bath, and she is, I think perhaps she's crying so much that she's almost filled the bath up with her tears. In front of her are three cups, and this could be that they've had three perhaps emotional things happen to you in your life. It might just be that, you know, that this is a short-term thing, that you've been upset. You've had three upsets perhaps in the last year, because we're doing this as a 12-month reading, and it's really affected you. You have been quite affected by this loss that you've had. But behind you, yes, there is blue sky and there are some clouds there, but you can't see, or you have forgotten, that there are two cups behind you which are still have the ability to bring you happiness and contentment. And it's recommending that although you feel as though all eyes are upon you and that it's just a desperate situation, that it really isn't. You need to stop focusing on these 3 cups and start focusing on the fact that you still have these opportunities. It's just that you're not letting yourself see them. In January, you have the Queen of Swords. Queens are kind of the brains of the outfit. In medieval times, they would be the ones who would do all of the planning. They would have the bright ideas. They would really be the ones that ran the court and the castle. The kings were just sort of like they were like a bit of a figurehead, really. Just sort of like the front man of a band. And it was the queen that did all of the hard work. And this queen is very self-assured and doesn't stand any messing. She is stood with bees buzzing around her head, and that shows that she has intellect and wiseness. The typical Queen of Swords card in the Rider-Waite deck shows the lady who sat to your side. So she is a very confident person. She still has her sword up, which shows that she has this strength about her. But she has her head above the clouds in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. And that shows that she has this real clarity of sight and objectivity. And it might be that you have been being able to see things in January much more clearly. It might be that now that you have realised that things aren't as bad as they seem, that you have this new sort of emotional growth and strength to you. In February, you have the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles came up in the Aquarius reading back up in November. And this is about juggling things. Typically, this might be 2 jobs that you're juggling. It might be a work-home life balance, which needs to improve because you're doing too much work and not enough stuff at home, relaxing. But it's saying that you perhaps need to just take a step back because you're doing too much. And there is the possibility that I think it's recommending that you kind of step off of these tight ropes, because there's only so long that you can do it before you start to sort of risk a fall. So it's about self-love and really looking after yourself better, I think. Money isn't everything, and the Pentacles can also be about health as much as wealth. So I think that this is recommending that you just take better care of yourself because you're pushing yourself too hard in February. And the final card is another 2, and that is the Two of Wands. And perhaps in March next year, you are realising that there is more to life than working hard, because the Two of Wands is about potential. There is a world hovering above this person's hand, and it's saying if you want it, then you can absolutely take it. It might be that you're planning your holidays and that you are just wanting to make plans. And they will be really beautiful plans. It's all about new things that you're going to discover, and that you your efforts are that the work that you've already put in is going to bring fruition to your life. So I would love to know as to what it is that you're planning in March next year. I know that's quite a long time away, but I think that's been a really interesting reading, and I hope it's been useful to you. It might resonate. Who knows as to what's going to be happening to us in 12 months' time. But I've enjoyed doing it for you, and I hope that you've enjoyed it as well. It's kind of 20 minutes, so if you've got to the end of it and you're still here, thank you and well done. I really do appreciate it. I'm quite new to YouTube, so if you would subscribe, I would really love that and be really grateful. I do pendulum readings most days as well, which will give you a yes and no answer to any questions or dilemmas that you might have. And I also do regular tarot readings as well. So thank you so much, and I will speak to you again soon, and Happy New Year.